As the shadow of World War II lengthened across Britain, a different kind of battle was being waged. Not on the front lines, but in the quiet corridors of power, a secret weapon was desperately needed to counter the enemy's most formidable intelligence tool. Traditional roles for women were changing, but few could have imagined the extraordinary call that awaited them. Brilliant minds, often overlooked in peacetime, were sought for a task so vital its very existence was a closely guarded secret. Their destination was Bletchley Park, a stately country estate transformed into Britain's top-secret intelligence hub. Here, under the utmost secrecy, an unprecedented intellectual effort was about to begin, led by the nation's brightest, including an army of extraordinary women. They arrived with diverse talents, but a common purpose: to break the unbreakable. The scale of the task was immense, the enemy's Enigma code a labyrinth of mathematical complexity. It demanded unwavering focus, unparalleled intellect, and boundless resilience. This was the beginning of their secret war, fought not with guns, but with wits. These women, the unsung heroines of Bletchley Park, were about to change the course of history, one decrypted message at a time. Their story, for too long hidden, is finally ready to be told. Upon arrival at Bletchley Park, the new recruits were plunged into a world of incomprehensible symbols and relentless pressure. The German Enigma machine, with its millions of possible settings, changed its daily key every 24 hours, making each day a fresh, daunting puzzle. To crack the Enigma, they needed a crib, a likely piece of plain text like Heil Hitler. These tiny footholds, combined with the revolutionary bomb machines designed by Alan Turing and others, became their most powerful weapons against the German cipher. Among the brightest was Patricia Davies, a young woman whose keen eye for detail and exceptional pattern recognition skills proved invaluable. She was instrumental in finding the cribs needed to break the German naval Enigma, a particularly challenging variant that baffled many. Breaking the naval Enigma was a desperate race against time. The Battle of the Atlantic raged, with U-boats sinking vital supply convoys. Every minute counted, and the women of Bletchley Park understood the lives that depended on their rapid decryption. Each successful decryption was a small victory, but collectively they provided the intelligence that guided Allied convoys, hunted U-boats, and ultimately turned the tide of the war. Their silent triumphs at Bletchley Park directly saved countless lives, shaping the fate of nations. While brilliant minds cracked the initial puzzles, the sheer volume of Enigma traffic demanded more than human intellect. The solution lay in the bomb machines, complex devices designed to rapidly test permutations. And the hands that fed these mechanical giants belonged almost exclusively to women. Thousands of women, many from the Women's Royal Naval Service, or WRENS, flocked to Bletchley. Their task was arduous. Working in shifts around the clock, they operated the bombs, setting up the daily tests based on the cryptanalysts' cribs. It was meticulous, relentless work, requiring intense concentration. When a bomb found a potential solution, a drop, it meant they were close to discovering the daily Enigma key. The pressure was immense. Every second wasted could mean a convoy lost or a strategic advantage missed. The WRENS were the front line, ensuring the machines ran smoothly and efficiently. But the WRENS weren't just bomb operators. Women filled every conceivable role at Bletchley Park. From the listeners at remote Y stations who intercepted enemy signals, to the translators, statisticians, and administrators who kept the entire complex operation running like clockwork. They were the silent engine of Bletchley Park, often working in anonymity, sworn to secrecy for decades. Their tireless efforts, often under grueling conditions, were as crucial as any mathematical breakthrough. These women, with their dedication and skill, ensured that the intelligence machine of the Allies never faltered, profoundly shaping the course of World War II. The tide of war was turning, yet in the shadows, a new threat to Allied victory was taking shape. As the war progressed, a new, even more formidable German cipher emerged, the Lorenz, codenamed Tunny by the British. This wasn't just battlefield chatter. It was the high command communication, Hitler's inner circle, protected by a machine of immense complexity. The Enigma machine, which had preoccupied the Codebreakers at Bletchley Park, was child's play in comparison. Tunny was used to transmit the most sensitive strategic messages between the German High Command and their army commanders in the field. Cracking this super cipher was not just a challenge, it was an absolute necessity for the Allied forces to gain a decisive advantage. The stakes had been raised, and the Codebreakers faced a challenge that would push the boundaries of human intellect and ingenuity to their very limits. Initially, breaking Tunny seemed impossible. Unlike the electromechanical rotor system of Enigma, the Lorenz machine used a sophisticated teleprinter system that employed a complex series of 12 wheels to encipher messages, generating a stream of random-looking characters that appeared utterly impenetrable. The task of decryption fell to a specialized section at Bletchley Park, where brilliant cryptanalysts, including many women, were engaged in a daunting intellectual battle. They were hunched over vast sheets of paper, performing incredibly detailed statistical analysis by hand. The breakthrough came from the genius mathematical insights of Bletchley, who deduced the internal structure of the Lorentz machine without ever having seen it. However, even with this knowledge, the decryption relied on laborious manual methods, a process so intricate and mentally taxing that it took weeks of painstaking work to break a single vital message. Time was a luxury the Allies could not afford. The manual process was far too slow to provide timely intelligence. With the German High Command churning out hundreds of tiny encrypted messages daily, a solution of unprecedented scale and speed was desperately needed. The answer came not from further human calculation, but from the visionary mind of post office engineer Tommy Flowers. He proposed a radical idea, a machine that could automate the statistical analysis required to break Tunny. Thus, Colossus was born, the world's first programmable electronic digital computer. It was a true marvel of engineering, a colossal machine standing over 7 feet tall and 8 feet wide, filled with over 1,500 glowing vacuum tubes and a labyrinth of wires. Built specifically to tackle the monstrous complexity of Tunny, Colossus represented a quantum leap in technology, a machine designed not just to calculate, but to think logically and make decisions at incredible speeds. Once again, it was the women of Bletchley Park who were entrusted with operating these pioneering machines. Primarily from the Women's Royal Naval Service, WRENS, these highly skilled operators became the essential human interface for the new electronic brains. They were the Colossus Girls, a team of dedicated women who worked around the clock in shifts to keep the machines running. An operator like Elsie would meticulously feed a punched paper tape containing the encrypted message into Colossus, monitor its thousands of glowing vacuum tubes, and expertly identify patterns on its teletype output. They had to be precise, patient, and highly trained to program and run the massive machines that could process millions of characters per second, a feat that far exceeded any human capability and ushered in the dawn of the digital age. The intelligence gleaned from the Tunny decrypts, made possible by Colossus and its operators, was nothing short of revolutionary. It provided an unparalleled window into Hitler's strategic thinking, revealing his intentions, troop movements, and his assessment of the Allied forces. This vital information proved crucial in the planning for D-Day, allowing the Allies to confirm that their deception plans had successfully convinced Hitler that the main invasion would occur at the Pas de Calais, not Normandy. The women who operated Colossus played a crucial, yet for decades largely unacknowledged role in this success. Their work not only helped secure vital wartime intelligence, but also pioneered the field of electronic computation, forever changing the landscape of information warfare and setting the stage for the modern world. In 1940, a 19-year-old linguist named Mavis Lever stepped into the secretive world of Bletchley Park. She was assigned to a small team led by the eccentric genius Dilly Knox. Their target, the Italian naval Enigma machine, a code believed to be unbreakable. The Italian Navy was a shadow in the Mediterranean, its movements hidden by a complex Enigma cipher. For months, the messages were gibberish. The pressure mounted as British convoys were at risk. The key, Dilly believed, was a mistake, a single crack in the system. One evening, Mavis stared at a string of code. Other analysts had dismissed it as noise, but she saw a pattern. A desperate gamble by an Italian operator had exposed a fatal flaw. She broke the message, revealing a shocking intelligence coup. The entire Italian fleet was preparing to attack a British convoy off Cape Matapan, Greece. The intelligence was a bombshell. Armed with Mavis's decrypt, Admiral Cunningham's fleet laid a perfect trap. The Battle of Cape Matapan was a stunning victory, crippling the Italian Navy for the rest of the war. It was a victory won not just at sea, but in a small hut hundreds of miles away. Admiral Cunningham himself visited Bletchley Park, stating the victory was entirely due to Dilly's girls. Mavis Beatty's name, like so many others, was buried by secrecy for decades. She was a forgotten heroine, whose mind became one of the war's most decisive weapons. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for more untold stories, and join the legacy thread in the comments below.